Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. You've been looking and what do you know? Congrats, you tapped into the Je Vaughn Show. Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. Another outlook will give you some hope. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Je Vaughn Show.
I wanna know you, tryna reap you and sow you, never let go, wanna hold you. I'm tryna show you that I wanna know you. I wanna know you.
I'm going to go ahead and sing one of my favorite opera songs. Don't come for Ashley, or he'll come for that ass. Find your own queen and let that be yours. But don't come for Ashley, or he'll come for that ass.
Amazing. This is a lot.
Hey, season 3, we are out here and we are killing it. We're looking forward to it. And yeah, I'll see you at the Stellas. And you better have somebody having your back too, because I'm not playing with you. I'm going to hug you.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on. I'm going to be at the Stellas, so you see him, you're going to see me.
I'm going to hug you both. How about that?
Well, we'll hug you back with the love of the Lord.
And check this out. And I'm going to pray for y'all leading up to the Stellas, because that's how I roll.
We're going to pray for you too, brother.
How about I'm going to continue to wish multiple success upon you and your life? What about that, my brother?
But how about we going to wish more and more success, and God is getting ready to do something in your life? How about that?
First of all, don't come around me wishing me blessings and success when I'm trying to be here wishing you blessings and success.
We got to push each other to success. How about that?
Play with me.
Woo, woo.
Let's get a little bit crazy.
But I can tell you this.
Tell him.
I'm talking to you. Your platform will expand. The step that you made on faith was a complete one. And there were people who actually advised you against it. And they made you feel totally crazy and asinine for stepping out on faith. But God said, because you stepped out on the water, Peter, Jesus said, I'm going to meet you there. And those who are expecting you to sink, tell them they in for a rude awakening. I also see sponsors. Yeah, they're coming. I say go to sleep at night, because you go to sleep stressed, tossing and turning like, oh my God, is this going to work? Did I make the right decision? Blah, 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 blah. God said, go to sleep. I got you. Now I'm done with that.
Hello, everyone and everyone's. Welcome to the Je Vaughn Show. I am your host, him. And on today's show, we've got an amazing artist writing and doing his thing out in the north of the country. But before we get into that, I want to make sure that you all know a couple of things that's going on with the Je Vaughn Show, iDream Media. We are doing this thing called Launch Your Voice, where you have an opportunity to start your own podcast for as little as $99. That's full production, editing, everything. So we encourage you that if you have a voice, you have something that you want to share with the world, please come to iDream Media and launch your voice today. ICanDream.com is the website, www.ICanDream.com. Also, we have a free webinar that's taking place on Friday. Touch your neighbor and say Friday. On Friday at 9 a.m. You can come on to the Je Vaughn Show, iDream Media page, the Instagram, the YouTube, all of that, and do a free webinar about starting your podcast and about growing your podcast, even if you don't have any followers. So make sure that you all join into that. Also, here's what I really need you to do. I need you to like today's program, and I need you to share today's program right now. We have an amazing artist that's about to come on, someone that is Chicago legendary royalty. He has royalty in his name. It's in his name. So you might as well go ahead and like today's episode, even if you haven't seen it already. And before you say, Je Vaughn, don't you want me to love it? The answer is yes. Love today's episode as well. Love it and then share it. Share it with the world. Don't be selfish. Get what you have and then share it. That's what the words say. I don't know where, but it's in there. To get it and then to share it. So make sure that you guys share today's podcast right now. Actually, you can share right now. Just go ahead. It's shareable. So go ahead and share it. Now, to do what we do and to do what we do best, I'm about to bring on a guy that's going to help me with today's podcast. And he goes by the name of Him Jr. I don't want to bring him on yet. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this show intro thing so I don't have to edit it in later. And then I'm going to welcome you guys again, and then we're going to bring in our guest. So again, right now is the time. You can literally share it right now before we even get started. Share it on your social media, share it with your family, share it with your enemies. Your enemies are the ones that really need to see this show today. So share it with your enemies so that they can have a blessing, so that they can get blessed, so they can get saved, maybe a little bit. All right, so here we go. We're going to do the intro. We're going to come in. We're going to say thank you, and then we're going to bring in our first guest. And that's what's going on with today's Je Vaughn Show. Let's get it.
Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. You've been looking and what do you know? Congrats, you tapped into the Je Vaughn Show. Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. No matter the outlook, who give you some hope. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Je Vaughn Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Je Vaughn Show. I'm your host, Je Vaughn, and we are happy to have you on here watching the show today because we have Chicago gospel. Let's not even put it in gospel. Chicago music royalty. So let me go ahead and bring him in now from the dark side. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adrian B. King. How you doing, ABK?
Man, I am well. Am I visible? I'm trying to reconfigure this little. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm well, man. How's everything going?
Everything is going fantastic. I'm really grateful for you being on the show today, sir.
Oh, man, I'm glad to be here, man. Even bright and early.
Bright and early. Listen, we get people up here on the Je Vaughn Show.
I see.
Now, here's the thing, though. So, right, anytime that I have in such legendary individuals on my show, I have to bring in somebody to help me carry this weight of responsibility that I have. So, if you don't mind, I've got a special guest that's going to join me in helping to make sure that I get deep into your story. Is that all right?
Let's do it, man.
Here he is. Some people call him Apostle. I call him Elder Stephen Anderson. How you doing, Steph?
What's up, man? How you doing? ABK, what's good?
What's good, man?
Long time.
Man.
So,
Wow.
Elder Steph, what were you saying, ABK?
I said I didn't expect to see you. That's what's up. I thought you were going to bring back, one of my kids' parents or something.
We tried to get them on, but they declined. So we had to go a different route. So we got Elder Stephen in today. Elder Steph, can you let people know where you're from and how they can get your social media and all that stuff so we can get started?
I am in the DFW area. You can reach me on my YouTube at Daytime 78, and also you can catch me on my Instagram and Facebook. I'm still trying to get good with that. At DMuzquick, DMuzquick 78. You can catch me there. DMuzquick.
Excellent, fantastic. How are you familiar with the man, the myth, the legend, ABK?
Woo.
Picture it, Sicily, 1740. No, I'm joking. 20 years ago, I used to be one of the singers that traveled and sung background and front singers for Mr. Adrian B. King.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, 20 years ago.
ABK, did he have a takeover spirit then?
Man, he didn't, honestly. Believe it or not, he was already doing his own thing, but he was a very humble fellow, very supportive, man. And I was really kind of surprised when he hopped on in because he was already doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? But Steve, yeah,
he was nice and humble back then. What happened? Moving on. Don't answer that.
He's not too humble now.
Wow.
As the old folks used to say, he's smelling himself.
I feel capital A amazing right now. Thank you.
Is it Perry Ellis?
It's the Perry Ellis. No, it's the
question.
Brute. It's the Black Spade and the Brute. That's what it is.
Yikes. No, thank you.
So I wanted to bring Elder Anderson in because that way when I ask you questions and he's going to ask you questions, but we can get to the heart of the matter of our very first question, which is always, who is Adrian B. King?
Adrian B. King is a former lover of fried pork chops. But now only maybe twice a year, and they must be grilled. But just a Chicago boy, man. Grew up in the church, not of the church, but in the church. I had one of them mamas that made me go to church. Made me. You had no choice in the matter. You're gonna be saved, or you're gonna get your behind whooped. This one or the other. It was one of those, and we went to one of those churches that started early in the morning. My mama used to cook in the kitchen. So we would be at church at the crack of dawn. It wouldn't even be dawn. It'd be dark outside still. And they'd be in there cooking, and they would have sunrise service. Then we'd have Sunday school. Then we'd have morning worship at 11. There was always a 3:30 program. The missionary board, the mothers, the nurse. Why the nurses got a service? Even the nurses got a service. And then we had 6:30. It was called YPSTU, Young People Spiritual Training Union. I'll never forget that. And then just when you thought you was going to the crib because you was tired and you got school tomorrow, we had 8 p.m. miracle service. And then we was up in there till about 11. So it was dark when I went to church. It was dark when I went home. I'm like, Mom, I ain't going to school tomorrow. I'm tired. I've been to Sunday school and Bible study. And man, just fast forwarding a little bit, I started playing the drums. Well, actually, I started as an usher. I was an usher because the ushers could walk around. So I was a junior usher.
Black and white. Were y'all in black and white or pink and gray?
I got pictures with the little ruffled shirt. You'll never see it. I'd have to kill you. But fast forward, they had a children's choir. I'm getting the music. They had a children's choir. And there was this girl in the children's choir that I was just crazy about as a kid. So I said, maybe I get in this children's choir. I can get close enough to pass notes and talk to her during church. So I got in the children's choir. I couldn't sing a lick. Just got up there so I could pass notes. And so then time goes on. What happened? She got a lead song, the Minister of Music, which was actually Walt Whitman from the Soul Children, believe it or not. He gave her a lead song. She couldn't get her parts. So I said, well, maybe I could rehearse with her on the sly. That'd be my
You know
chance.
what?
My shot. The only thing,
Yeah.
Steve, the only thing I could play right then was, I'm gonna see if I can play it. I'm in my studio. What was it?
Beverly Hills Cop.
That was all I could play. And then I could play Sheila E. So I
Glamorous
said,
Life.
right. Then the first two songs, not even songs, just lines. So I said, well, if I listen to the tape and can pick out her part, maybe I can have a special rehearsal with her before rehearsal and show her her part.
ABK, was she that bad at getting like where you had weeks to learn the song because she couldn't pick it up?
No, it wasn't no song. I just literally learned the notes. Like I just played no chords. And so
Oh my God.
I started rehearsing. I got a chance to rehearse with her because that gave me a chance to shoot my shot. Well, what happened? Fast forwarding, I'm getting there. We had choir rehearsal, and Walt wasn't there.
Huh.
So then they were like, well, what are we going to do for rehearsal? Her big mouth bust out and said, well, Adrian helped me with my part. Maybe he can help. I said, wait, I ain't ready for the main stage yet. You know, this was just to try to holler at you. And so I put on the spot, and believe it or not, when I went to the keyboard, the piano, big old upright piano, I was able to identify the notes and play them. After that point, Walt left, went to another church. We had no musician. So I come to rehearsal. Now I'm at the big choir rehearsal with my mama. They done put me on the main stage again.
And what age is this?
I got me a composition book. I went on all the words to the songs, and I wrote S for soprano, B flat, A for, I did all that. I had my book of life. I call it the book of life. So I come to rehearsal, play the book of life. Well, I got to rehearsal one day and realized one thing, man. I forgot the book of life. So now here I am in rehearsal with no book. What am I do? And when I sat on the keyboard, the piano, I remembered the notes. And that got me started in music.
How old were you though?
Man, I was about 13, 14. Look back at it. Drawing gang signs at the church. But it's amazing. But it's amazing because God knows what bait to use.
Yes, he does.
My friend the other day, I'm like, he used you to get me in the choir.
You still know her?
It's amazing.
You still know her, eh?
I talked to her the other day. Went to breakfast with her the other day. Hadn't seen her in almost 30 years.
Wow.
We went to breakfast last week. So
Man,
I told her, I tell this story all the time. She was like, are you serious? It's the truth.
The Lord used Tania Watson to get me into church. Really? She went and joined church, and I said, if I get to be around her from going to church, man, I'm going to church.
Man. And
so I get it.
I was on the train going to high school, and some words kept coming in my head in music as I was on the L train. I'm like, wait a minute. What is this? I ended up writing my first song, Steve, on my way to Whitney Young High School.
Wow.
I did not know that this would turn into this. But God,
what was the first song? Do you remember the first song?
It was called When the Lord Returns. See, I was a bad kid, and I used to always hear about the rapture. And I would be so scared that I would wake up and miss it because I know what I did today. I know what you did last summer. I know what I did yesterday. And I literally wrote a song called When the Lord Returns. And that was the first song I ever wrote.
I remember that song. It was the very last song on your first project.
First project.
Yeah.
Wow. And then
crazy, man.
And from there you just kept on writing. Man,
I just kept on writing. My mother took the rent money. And we got on the L and went downtown. She took our rent money and bought me a big old Casio keyboard, which I thought was crazy because I'm like, what are we going to live at on this train? But she took the rent money and bought me a Casio keyboard. And man, I just started playing that keyboard. And so you got to remember at that time, I was a thug, as you say. I was a gangster. You can't be a gangster and play the piano. So I was in the closet playing the piano. I had my headphones on, sitting on the floor in the closet playing my Casio. And man, God just started giving me different ideas and getting to where we are now. as I started writing songs, I started trying to give them to people. Nobody wouldn't sing my songs. I literally sent my songs. I paid money and recorded my songs and sent them to a very popular gospel artist, FedEx. FedEx was $29 a package back then. That was a lot of money when you 16,
yes,
17.
still now.
Listen, I sent that FedEx package. 2 days later, I got a bigger FedEx package back from that artist. And I was so excited. I'm like, man, they sent something back. Man, when I opened that package, my package was inside that package unopened.
Whoa.
They paid $40 to send me back my project.
Wow.
And so we were at the church painting. I'll never forget this. This is how reverence was birthed. We were at the church painting, and I was really sad and crying about what happened. And the pastor says, you don't have to beg anybody to sing your music. You got Bill over here. You got Courtney right over here. You got Denise right over here. Y'all can rehearse right here at the church. And that's how I started reverence. Wow. So I said, well, if I got a choir, they got to sing my songs because they ain't got no choice. So that's one way. And that started in September of 1992.
And what you remember the first songs that you taught in the rehearsal? Was it the Rapture song, or were you teaching other things?
No, that came later. The very first, we were known as the Look and Live choir because everywhere we went, we sang Look and Live for about 2 years.
Look and Live. That one.
Yeah, we sang that song. I should get a royalty out for that because we sang that song so much. People thought it was the choir. When the Lord Returns came, because I was watching people record and things of that nature, and I wanted to do a record. And so I didn't know how to do a record. Me and Kenny Lewis was my director at the time. We had no idea how to do a record. So I reached out to Percy Gray Jr. I knew Percy Gray knew how to record. And Percy agreed to come in to produce the record. And he said, well, you got any songs? I said, well, I got this little song that I wrote when I was on the train going to school. And so that's how that happened. Percy and Gerald got involved, and that song ended up on the record.
You're throwing out such like Chicago royalty names. How did you get associated with the Gray Boys?
Well, I was playing for my music mentor, Brenda Joyce Moore. She went on to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
And I'll just say this, Brenda gave me like my first national opportunity because she had a choir called United Praise. And Brenda let me practice on her choir. She would let me teach songs. She would let me play. I actually joined Steve as a tenor. Wow. I was in a community choir. I was doing Tommy's Rock and all that. But I joined as a tenor, and what happened was the musician was late for rehearsal. And they used to start rehearsal with devotion. They happened to sing Take the Lord On With You or something. It happened to be in B flat. So I was like, oh, that's my key. So I just went and slid on the organ. Brenda came in, saw me playing, and let me start playing for the group. So getting to Gray Boys, Brenda was working on the recording, and the Gray Boys were producing her recording.
So just so we know, so people can know, Brenda Joyce Moore, known forever and always as the writer, composer of How Excellent.
Yeah, Perfect Praise, How Excellent. Yeah, one of the biggest. My church sang it Sunday. That's crazy how the song just lives that long. And so
and notice how you do the proper title, Perfect Praise, and I give it the black title, How Excellent. We'll do that to all our songs, won't we?
Two things Brenda couldn't stand. She couldn't stand the song being called How Excellent because for whatever reason, she was adamant that it was Perfect Praise. I said, Brenda, this song does not mention Perfect Praise at all. And they're going to call it How Excellent. The other thing she hated, Steve, you know this because you're a musician on that, In All the Earth. She hated when the altos were flat on that. They would do In All the Earth. She's like, no, that's not the note. In all the earth. She was very specific on that. So
she came and did a workshop for me, and she spent like about 5 minutes making sure that the altos understood why that note was wrong and how you're not going to do it wrong when we do it up in front of the people.
Brenda was very adamant. I used to tell her, girl, be glad they know your song. No, I want it right.
I want it right.
She gave me my first opportunity. So when the Great Boys produced her record, I was just gleaning And then an opportunity came up with Chicago Mass Choir, and some kind of way I ended up at their rehearsal, and I found out the Great Boys was doing that too. And so I would kind of just come around and talk to Gerald and talk to Percy. Man, one day I just got the nerve. I said, man, I'm gonna call them and ask them to produce my record. I know I can't. I ain't had no money, Steve. No money. I said, I'm gonna ask him. And it was funny. I called Percy, and as soon as I asked him, he said, well, let me call Gerald. Percy called me back and said, we're gonna do it. I said, but I don't have no money. So what's the budget? He said, I didn't ask you for a budget. I said, we're gonna do it. And they jumped, man, they produced my project for less than my car note.
Wow.
And they were already established producers.
And they produced it.
And they were coming from work, and they don't have to work now. Look what the Lord has done. But they were coming from work. They had soot on them. Gerald used to come from the factory to rehearsal. Percy used to have a walkie-talkie coming from work in between. And they produced that record, man. And I just gleaned and learned. I talk to Percy every day. That's one of my best friends to this day. And here we are some 30 years later, man. Yeah.
Wow. That's an amazing story. Speaking about that that budget, somebody wrote in the comments, that's the same budget I offered Steven to produce my album. Interesting. Oh no, it's interesting. That's deep. I mean,
Steve won a lot of money.
Excuse me?
Steve got Gucci and stuff.
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, let me make this clear. And I'll tell the whole world. I learned so much sitting at Adrian's feet, singing with him. And Adrian was one of my inspirations when it came to writing, all that stuff. When I remember when I brought you all to South Bend, and my wife at the time went into false labor.
I remember that.
Man, and I sat there and I was just like in awe watching you guys, man, because the chemistry you and Kenny had was just phenomenal. Like, you know, I used to call y'all Batman and Robin. Just to watch Reverend sing, whether you had 30 people or you were walking the room with 5, 6, 7 people, the sound never changed. It was consistent. And that was one thing that was so impressive to me. So I recall those days. I don't even know. We had just had a short conversation, and I said I was interested in singing with you. And you're like, well, just come on down if you're serious.
And you were literally coming from South Bend, bro.
Yeah, I was on the train. You would come pick me up from the train station, take me to rehearsal. We got to wait till Je Vaughn come back. He got to come back so I can tell him the story about when you was late.
I'm here listening to y'all talk. This is so great for me. So please tell the story.
So one time, I think it was like my second or my third rehearsal with them. I took the train down, and Adrian was late getting to me, and so the sun is going down. I don't know where we was at. It was in Chicago somewhere, but it was in the hood. I do know that much. It was like near Roseland.
West side.
It was the south side. It was near Roseland.
Yep.
And the sun was going down, and back then wasn't no
cell phone.
I didn't have a cell phone. I was at the payphone, and I'm hitting this beeper up and leaving voicemails, and I'm about to cry. I was like, Adrian, come get me. I was so scared.
You wasn't about that life. You was from the being, you know.
Listen, I'm calling. I'm like, hey man, come get me. I was so scared. I was shaking. Adrian got me in that car. I think I was so nervous. I blacked out and fell asleep when I got in the car.
How did you end up in Roseland, though? Because
it was like Roseland, as you one of the cities outside of Roseland. It was.
That's where our rehearsals were. I think he took the train to Kensington somewhere.
Yes.
Oh, and that's right.
Yeah, because we were rehearsing like near Markham or something like that. I believe. Can't remember one of the cities.
You was going towards the south suburbs. Yeah.
Listen, well, that wasn't a bird. That wasn't a bird. That was a belch. And so. He came and got me, man. I just kept calling his phone. I was nervous. Man got in the car. All he could do was like laugh. He was like, man, I'm sorry I was late, man. I was, coming from whatever. blah blah blah. Man, I was just like, it's okay, man. When I tell you, I was just sitting there just.
Bro, those memories are crazy, man. You're taking me back, man, because I'm gonna tell you, Je Vaughn, I done quit so many times, man. I done quit so many times. I quit every week, every rehearsal. I quit.
You too.
I want to cuss and quit every rehearsal.
And it's always the alto's fault, ain't it?
God,
I said it.
But
wait a minute,
it can't be just my group that was always altos.
Every time I try to quit, I kid y'all not. Every time I try to quit, in one way or another, God tells me, "Did I tell you to stop?" One way or another. Like one week I quit, and the next day we got a record deal. Or one week I'm ready to quit, and then he'll send a new singer.
Is that? Sorry. I'm just asking. Is that part of the whole the two major deals that you just signed? Is that coming?
Yeah, just recently. Man, again, I do this because God gave me music to save my life. I was really heading down a dark path. Friends that I knew then, many, we hear it cliche, but I can say it's true. Many are dead or in jail. And I really was headed down that path. And then I lost my mom in 92. As a matter of fact, we had a reverence rehearsal on a Monday. My mother passed on Tuesday. Our very first engagement was my mother's funeral.
Wow.
Very first engagement. Very first time Reverend sang. And we sang Look and Live. How ironic is that to sing Look and Live at a funeral? But we didn't know no better. We were young. But yeah, man. Just recently, I've signed with I don't know if my nephew's name is Marcus or Marquise. Which one is my nephew's name?
Marcus Collins.
I know that, but some people call him Marquise, and I'm like, am I just calling him Marcus? And his name is actually Marquise. So
I call him Round Boy. So it just depends on how you know him, I guess.
No, seriously, Marcus has been with me for years, and we've recently partnered with him and his collective, and he's handling marketing and branding and management. But the truth of the matter, he's been doing it anyway for years. I mean, Marcus would call me when I have concerts. He would work the door. He would bring his workers to host. I mean, he's been just doing this, so it was really like a no-brainer when it was time to go to this next level. Things have changed a lot in the industry now, so you got to move different. It doesn't really work the way that it used to back in the day. And so coming to the two deals, we just signed a deal with Marcus Collective, Collins Collective officially to handle that. And we also just signed a deal with gospel hitmaker Bishop Norman Hutchins.
Nice.
And that's weird because Norman Hutchins is like one of my all-time favorite writers.
He's a legend.
And we happened to land on the same label, JDI Records, although I had never met him with the previous project. And I was like, man, I would love to meet this guy, this, that, and the other. And I had a friend of mine out in Philadelphia, and he said, man, I need you to meet Bishop Hutchins. I said, I'd love to meet Bishop Hutchins. And so he gave me the information. I reached out to Bishop Hutchins. Bishop Hutchins big bro me. He did not reach back. I feel some kind of way about that. But sometimes people are just busy or they don't get the message. But I'd be like, hit me back. I will delete somebody for not hitting me back. Don't play with me. But anyway, I got the Bishop.
Time out. I almost did Adrian the same way. He went through a season where he big brothered me.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Listen, I got to Detroit. So Adrian moved to Detroit. I moved to Detroit after, like, not too far long after he did. So I'm like trying to reach out to him. Adrian didn't say nothing. So I end up producing a record, and I call Adrian. Adrian called me back. I was like, oh, now he won't talk. Okay, cool. So, and he wrote. No, I'm giving you a hard time. But when you say to my big brother, I was mad at Adrian for about a month or two. I said, this mother ain't called me back. Come to find out he had been moving and been on the road himself.
And Adrian, check this out. Adrian, hold on before you answer that. Check this out though. So then Elder Stephen Anderson moves to Dallas, Texas, right? And then so I'm reaching out. I'm like, hey, Elder. And guess who big brother me? So it goes full circle. It goes But this what he posts, Adrian. He posts healthy boundaries. Is that where we at, Elder?
That's not the nature of our relationship. Don't do that.
What were you about to say, Mr. King?
Let's walk into unity. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I forgot you did come to Detroit. Yeah, I lived in Detroit for about 4 years. But honestly, Steve, I mean, you've always been cool with me. If I didn't respond, I don't know why. I might not have seen it or whatever the case is. You've always. I deal with the least of these. You know, I know how it feels for artists to look down on you.
Yeah.
I still get it now, and I've been doing this 30 years. And it's funny, I got some national artists, big boys, that reach out to me and holler at me. And then I got local cats that act brand new. I'll be like, bro, you got a single. I have 60 singles. How you gonna act stupid with me? So newbies don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
and on this show, we're about transparency. So let's call them out. First one.
Uh-oh.
Eric
No
Kirk.
names. No names. We would not do names.
I only mentioned Eric because he was on here. That's my guy. In fact, I almost wore Eric's shirt on the show, which is funny that he's watching us today. And he had the nerve that this guy gonna tell me to watch my mouth. Huh, Marcus, we already talked about what's happening when I see you at the Stellas. So, you know, you're getting the biggest hug that you've ever gotten in your life. So you better stop playing with me.
Eric Kirk,
man, love you, Marcus. Marcus the guy, man.
That's my little bro for real. Eric Kirk, I love that dude to life, for real. Eric sang with me Eric still sings with me now. When I call him, he comes out and he jumps right in. And the thing that I like about people like Eric and others is that he's the leader of his own ministry now. But when he comes to reverence, he comes right back to reverence. He don't come with the big head acting like, hey, man, I got my own group. You know, I need that. No, he just jumped right in and he fill in. And I love him to life for that. That's my dude.
Oh, and with that being said, Adrian got one more reunion without me. Moving on. So, moving on. We'll move on.
Okay, now with the reunion, I tried my best to remember.
You got thrown under the bus.
Bro, it's about 150 to 200 people that have passed through Reverence since 92.
Wow.
Literally. I tried to reach out and get everybody I could and remember, but you know, I just turned 50.
Congratulations.
100 people.
I remember when 40 was old. I remember 30 was considered old. Now here I am, 50. I got grandkids.
You too?
But the thing I'm grateful about, my music and what I'm doing is not dated. I thank God that he still has us relevant. We got great singers, younger singers, energetic singers, and merging. It's kind of like putting seasoning on some new food. That's the best thing.
And you've got great music. I like to play this game sometimes with the artists that have a lot of hits, or that those couple hits where people just keep them in rotation. If you had to throw away one and never sing it again, Earnest Desire or Secret Place, which one would you just be happy to never have to sing again?
I'm gonna be honest. I would throw away my Earnest Desire. It's my favorite song. It's my favorite song in the world that I wrote. But I'm tired of it. But it's kind of like the fish that keeps swimming. No matter
give it to
how
me.
many
Just
new
give it to
albums,
me. I'll take it. Don't worry about it.
No matter how many new and that's funny that y'all mentioned that, because I've had a major artist just recently reach out to me about recording it. And so I'm praying about that. That song has prophecy all over it. I don't know what God is going to do with it, but I'm open to it. But I'm just like, everywhere I go, I don't want to sing my Earnest Desire. But, buck, I mean, the coin is there. I'll sing it in Spanish. I'll sing it in English. I'll do sign language on it if the coin is there.
Yo, mime it if the coin is right.
All that
liturgical dance to it.
But the thing is, you know, even if you get personally tired of the thing, you got to realize is what's old to you is sometimes new to a whole new generation. So I say that jokingly, but that one I kind of got tired, because I be like, I got a lot of other songs, y'all. Y'all listen to these other records.
And that's my other question to you.
That song, but y'all don't understand. That song clears a room. Yeah, it clears a room. It really does. Even when my group was singing it, it would clear the room. So what?
I got some more to clear a room too.
Yeah, but we like to be clear the room with my Earnest Desire. You make us go back and pray and reconsider our life. with that one.
Yeah, you got Darius Brooks and Vashawn Mitchell on your single. That's amazing. But can y'all sing Minus Desire?
So, were you like? Has there ever been a song where you like? I cannot believe that this one ain't jumping.
Yeah, a lot.
Because we saying committed. We saying committed out.
That was another one.
The heck out of committed.
I just flipped committed. We just rehearsed it last week. I haven't sang committed. We just flipped it last week in rehearsal with the singers now. We sang it at the reunion, but we hadn't sang committed in 20 years. But I just flipped
Elder likes it. Elder likes it when I sing my favorite parts of songs. So can I do the soprano part, the high one, real quick? Committed.
Knock it out.
Oh.
Well, time out. Did you encourage that?
Yeah, knock it out. We only laugh. We just laugh.
Let me know if I'm on the right key. Put me in something sharp. Oh! Was I close? Was I in there? Was I in the pocket?
Yeah. That was dope.
Moving on.
Let me call Bishop Hutchins.
Please do. Give him my number.
Get you on.
Yeah, get me on. In fact, if you need me to open for the reunion that's coming up, I have nothing better to do.
Man, I love I'm committed. I just brought it back. But
pick me. Time out. Did he just say, give me something sharp and then took off without you?
I'm used to it, man. I play for funerals every week. I play for 4 funeral homes, so I'm used to people just.
All right, moving on. As you were saying, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Marcus, I got you. But yeah, man. Somebody asked me just recently about that, and I was like, everything is about time. Abraham didn't get his son until he was 100. One thing I've learned about God is if God wants to do something, he's going to do it how he wants to do it and when he wants to do it. I used to play for the Kurt Carr Singers. I traveled with them playing keyboards for some years. And I remember one day we were in a hotel room. It was in Kurt's suite. And Kurt was talking to me, and Kurt told me it took him 17 years to get for every mountain. And then he looked at me and he said, what if I had quit at 16? And he got up and walked into the room. And so I'm sitting there waiting for him to come back. You know when he came back? Never. He dropped that bomb and walked off and went to bed. And I was just sitting there like, wow. So I came up with this slogan that I use all the time. When you quit, failure is certain. So that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. And that's why I run on and see what the end is going to be. I don't do it for acclaim. I don't do it for awards. I do it for a reward. Because God literally gave me this to save my life. So I made a commitment to give it back to him. And the music blesses who it blesses. But I do believe God's about to do something crazy in this season. Marcus, I'm going to bring up the tour in a minute. Go ahead, Je Vaughn.
That hit me good because there's just in conversation, I'll tell you, doing this podcast, it's like, we get good numbers but it's like, it's not taking off the way that I want it to. So why do I keep doing it? And I keep getting those type of inspirational words. That is, you keep staying diligent, you keep doing it, you keep going. And when God is ready to take it to where he's going to take it there and not to worry about it. So you sharing that with me is. I want to
give you a word, Je Vaughn. Here's the thing. And I tell this to gospel artists. I tell this to people all the time. You have to do what you do first because you love it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you love it. Bible even says, seek first the kingdom of God, his righteousness, and all these things will be added. You got to do it because you love it. Because if you do it out of love, the fulfillment is there initially, regardless to what comes later. Because again, in this business, man, I used to make a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I keep it a buck on here. I used to make a lot of money in gospel music. It was nothing to get a royalty check for $5,000, $7,000. It was nothing to get performance fees of $3,500, $5,000 consistently. Things have changed now with this streaming, with COVID, with everything that's going on now. I'm gonna keep it a buck. People are not making the money that they used to make. Now, the thing that I'm grateful about, God has shown me that he doesn't need mechanisms in order to bless you. I made more. I did better in COVID than I did out of COVID. Bought 2 cars cash. God has just been faithful. But brother, do it because you love it, man. And if you're doing it with a sincere heart, God is going to reward them. God's going to reward you, man. And don't give up. Because when you quit, failure is certain. I know what happens if I quit. So now I want to know what happens if I don't.
That's good. That's good word. That's good word. And that's why, I do it because it gives me the opportunity to sing stuff like I'm committed in front of Adrian B. King. Why would I stop when I get to do that in something sharp? You should hear me do elder songs. Oh, I got a montage.
No, thank you.
In fact, I'll play it now.
No. Adrian's on the flyer. It's about him. Moving on. Yeah.
And it is about Adrian, and it is about a tour that's coming up. Adrian B. King, you are about to go out there and share your ministry with the world. Tell us about it if you don't mind.
Yeah, something just hit me just recently, and I reached out to Marcus, and I reached out to the group, and I said, people are not attending concerts quite like they used to. Things are changing in the industry, but I got a heart that I want to touch the church people. I want to reach the church folk. I love my musical crowd, but to be honest, that bores me sometimes. I don't just want to be an artist that only sings in concerts and in musical settings. I want to go and touch people that'll never get an opportunity to experience such. The church people. So I said, I want to just do a series of tours where we just pick a city and we just go to that city and we just church. We just hit some churches on Sunday mornings. So I asked my church for permission to be away on a few dates and things of that nature. So the first of which will be in Indianapolis, Indiana on Sunday, April 16th. We just going to go old school, ride out to Indianapolis. We're going to be with Bishop Brandon Jacobs and New Zion Temple early that morning. And then we're going to West Side Missionary Baptist Church at 11. And then we're going with my sister, Overseer Anissa Spencer at 3 p.m. And then we're doing a gospel brunch. I'm going for the brunch. I ain't got to sing a note. I just want to go for the
chicken
brunch.
And waffles.
And we're going to just do a full day. Come on back, do what we do. Our next stop will be Detroit. Then after that, we'll be doing St. Louis. And we're just going to hit some regional areas and just pick a Sunday, man, and go to where the people are. On Sunday, and just share our ministry. And so that's what we're doing for spring and summer as we await our new single to be released. That's scheduled for May on IR Music Group. So we're excited, man.
And when is Dallas?
Oh, that's going to be in the next leg. I'm trying to do Dallas around August. I got some great friends in Dallas and Houston. Pastor Keon Henderson, I already told him, I'm coming to your church whether you invite me or not. I'm just going to Concord Baptist Church. I told him I'm just going to bum rush our church and just show up on Sunday morning. It's going to be what it is. So, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Beautiful. If you need a host when you come to Dallas,
You want to be a host or you want to be the opener?
I want to host, because that way I get to talk, and I like talking more than I like singing, and I love singing, but I love talking. And as long as I can bring up Balaam at least once, then I'm good.
Don't
know me.
No Balaam. No
Why
Balaam.
not Balaam?
Sir, move on. And we're moving.
We're moving. Now, there's this segment that we do, and I know that we're running a long time and you got to go, but we do it every time we do a show, and it's called the Creative Break. And during the creative showcase, we like to highlight those things about you that people don't know creatively, arts-wise. Now, you can either do this by singing or you're at a keyboard doing it by playing, but we want to know something that most people wouldn't know that you know. So we know that you can play, and we know that you can sing, and we know that you know gospel, but we want something non-gospel. We don't care if it's country, if it's pop, if you know some Taylor Swift that you want to share with the people right now. We want you to just share with us something that most people who know Adrian B. King wouldn't know that you do. So I'm committed. So I've got mine out the way. Elder Stephan is going to do something as well, and then that gives you time to do something on your end. So while you're preparing, Elder Stephan, what would you like to share with us in the creative showcase today?
I like chicken wings. So you want me to sing something?
Something that people wouldn't know that you know. Now I can go to the video, or you can just do something on your own.
Hey, no, man, come on, quit playing, man. Quit playing. Listen, if I didn't do my own expose, I'm not gonna let you blackmail me.
Mario Dunlap said, "Play some Chicago house music." That's
now,
what he wanted.
Well, now that is one of my favorites. I love Chicago house music.
But we're not gonna sing "Bang Bang Bang" that one today. So, Elder Stephen Anderson, what would you like to share with? Moving on, what would you like to share with us today?
So you want me to do some R&B-ish?
Sure.
Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name. That's all I got. Moving on.
Oh.
Security.
Come and talk to me, Lord. I really want to meet you, God. I really want to know you. Anyway, Adrian B. King, it's your turn. What would you like to share with the people that they wouldn't know that you know?
I believe I can fry, whether it be a wing or a thigh. Now let me stop.
I think about it.
Speaking of, time out. Speaking of, can you overnight me some Heralds?
I ain't had breakfast yet. I didn't hear what Elder did because it looked like he was miming because his mic went mute.
That was
Lift
Kingdom.
your hands, Elder. Lift your hands. Give me the power.
No sweets.
In the spirit of Chucky. Man, y'all are crazy.
Hey, can you overnight me some Heralds?
His answer is no.
Fine.
Bishop Elder wanted some Harold's overnighted to him with some mild sauce, fried hard, salt and pepper.
How many wings?
6.
6 wings. Adrian, you're from Chicago. You know it's only 6 wings.
Lemon pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Mild sauce.
I ain't been to Harold's in a while. Just a little of my journey. My goal is to lose over 100 pounds. I've actually done about 30, so I'm doing all right. I haven't had fried food and Harold's and all of that going on 2 months now. And so I'm about to go even harder because I got a goal. 85 pounds by Christmas is my goal. So unless Harold's can, be cooked in an air fryer or blended in a smoothie, I do a Harold smoothie.
Oh God, I think I just threw up in my mouth with it.
I like hot sauce, salt, and pepper. So give me a 6 wing and a smoothie with a diet Coke. I'm good.
Oh God, he said put it in a smoothie, in a blender.
In the words of my grandson, no thank you.
A soul food smoothie.
No, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, but Mr. King, I still want a song though. And I like the suggestion of Mario. If you know it, do you know Chicago house music? Is that something that's in your repertoire?
Now this is how it started. My dreams are broken hearted because I want you, baby. So when we get down to it, I just love the way you do it because I need you, girl. Then he hit that love can't turn around. I can't hold it like you did. I was a house head, man. I got a house song called Victory.
You have made my mentor's day.
Mario Dunlap. I just talked to him too. What up, bro?
Everybody know Mario. I don't even know why I'm surprised.
Listen, if you don't know Mario, you don't know.
I will never forget the day.
What you know about house music in South Bend?
That's from Chicago, Adrian. Stick with me.
Ain't that near Ben Harbor? I don't know nothing about house. House stops at Gary.
It doesn't cross over Jackson Street.
It did. It doesn't cross over 80-90.
I went to that house one time, Je Vaughn. Believe it or not, I thought it was really a big deal. I went to the Jackson's house, taking pictures and stuff. Like, man, you about the 5 million person that have done this. This ain't special.
I think it. I mean, that's where Latoya was. Forget about the rest of them. Latoya grew up there.
Latoya grew up here. I'm going. Her fans.
That's a big deal.
What?
I remember when she did that cover, but we're moving on. We're moving on. When you were in Chicago, I know since you know Mario, I can tell this story. So you came through 123rd in Michigan, Greater New Montego Missionary Baptist Church, conveniently located.
Absolutely, my buddy's the pastor there now, David Moore.
That's the church I grew up in. So I used to be able to sit there with Larry and
old Landmark and all that stuff. Then now let us on. What was her name?
Oh, back to the old. Somebody's talking about you went to St. Wilbert High School.
Willowbroad. Yeah, I did. Willowbroad. I lived around the corner from Willowbroad and was late every day.
That sounds like my son today.
I lived across the street from St. Willowbroad. Yeah. St. Willowbroad merged into what was it? St. Martin de Porres. Used to be Mendel. That was the house headquarters in Chicago, Mendel. Farley, Funk, and Keith in the hot mix fast. See, y'all don't know nothing about that.
I don't know how to do footwork. That wasn't my thing. I was too busy in church.
That's footwork. Lucy Rogers, that was her name. Lucy Rogers. And they used to have all them words, and we'll go singing and shouting, and I never could keep up. She was like,
never
rapping way back in the day.
Before rapping was cool.
That was like some Busta Rhymes type stuff. Twister. On the gospel tip. She was gospel twister. Singing, praying, and they would keep up.
Oh, man, I missed them so much. Let me see. AB, you definitely starting to show your age now. Oh, yeah, that's that house stuff.
And
that's when Ricky was doing house music too back in the day.
I remember when Ricky used to perform doing house music. Ricky was doing gigs and recording. That was a long time before.
Now check this out. I saw it online a couple times a few years ago, featuring
you look
Ricky
like
Dillon.
You're cursing me out with your fingers, Elder, because I can't hear what you're saying.
I wonder why. Because I can hear Elder. I'm surprised that you're not able to hear him. I don't know why he did that.
How do I just mute him? I can hear you, but I can't hear him.
I don't know. You know what? It's God. I don't know what about him. It's just something about the name. It's just something about that guy.
And silence.
You know what though? This happens with these phones every once in a while. Elder, do me a favor. Just go out and come back in. And then because that usually clears it up. I don't know what it is about them droids. I think he's got a droid. Yeah, you know what? He's got a droid.
That could be it. An apple a day.
We solved it right there. An apple a day. So tell me about. So I'm sorry, because again, I grew up listening to your music. In Greater New, we played your music all the time, or we sang your music all the time. When I went to Illinois State, I took your music with me. I remember Michelle Triplett. I don't know what her married name now is, but she would bring Adrian B. King songs there. When you would go somewhere and you would hear your music, what does that do for you? Because I know me, I got a big ego. So if I write something and everybody in the world is singing it and playing it, I won't be able to get through the door. That's why God hasn't anointed me at that level yet. And I tell Steve this too. Steve is an amazing writer. I will never tell him to his face, but I can tell him on virtually. Steve is an amazing writer. I could not imagine going somewhere and hearing my songs and not be like, what is that like for you?
Man, it is insane. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm really amazed at when I hear some of my music. I'm amazed that God actually wrote this through me, that God actually let me birth this. I'd be like, really? This is like really something, and it's very humbling too that people will think enough of your music and enjoy it enough to sing it or to even buy it or to even listen to it. Right now, we got so many options out here. iTunes is like the sea of forgetfulness. And for somebody to really take the time to not only purchase your music, but to learn it and rehearse it, it's very humbling, man. It's very humbling. I'm not no crybaby, but I have to almost kind of, fall back and keep my cool on because it's really humbling. It's really humbling, man. You never know where music goes. And I'll tell you this, my brother, you never know where your show goes. Just because people don't click like don't mean they didn't see it or they weren't blessed or they weren't impacted. You just never know. I can prove that. Come out with a scandal on your name.
I'm trying to.
Come out with a scandal and watch how many viewers you get.
I've been working on scandals for 2 years, Adrian.
I can help you with some ideas.
No.
OnlyFans at Je Vaughn Show. Huh?
Why are you to take clothes off? I got some that'll keep you clothed.
I mean, I don't mind nudity though. I'm just saying. We're being too honest today.
I'd have met my man.
Elder, of the songs that you used to sing with Adrian, hopefully he can hear you now. What was one of the ones that was your favorite to sing, not including the hits? You know, we're not talking about Committed. We're not talking about Well Done. We're not talking about My Earnest Desire. Like, what was one of your just go-to jams?
Well Done was the one. Because I used to have a little baby dreads, and I used to shake my hair. I used to be one of his hype men.
Lot of energy. Elder can sing though, man.
Yeah, he can.
I'm trying to, what was one of my favorite songs we did?
We got to do something. I'm gonna put it out.
One of my favorite songs we did was we your people take this time to tell you just how grateful, thankful. That was one of my favorites. I think I used to cry every time we did that one.
Guess who wrote that?
Who?
Take one guess. Who wrote that song?
Javon Martin.
Security.
Feels like something I would write.
Brenda Joyce Moore.
Really?
Wow.
People think I wrote it. I'm like, I want to take credit for it. I do. I bow, but no. Brenda Joyce Moore.
Yeah, that was in my top 5 that we did. But like, Well Done. He's worthy. You had two that He's worthy. So we got to be careful with the name of it. So Kenny Lewis wrote one, and then the other one was the From the Rising of the Sun to the,
We just re-recorded that recently, but I think that was Kenny's first song. And what was crazy, I say this in my 7% of battery left. That was funny because when we were doing the record, Percy and Joel were producing. Percy was like, something is missing. Something missing. I'm like, what? He said, man, we need a groove. We need a high energy groove. And we didn't have a song. And Kenny hit me up and was like, man, I wrote this song. And Kenny came to rehearsal and Percy was there and Kenny taught it. And Percy was like, that's it. And so Kenny's song was the one that
He Worthy goes hard.
And
I just want to make sure because we have a lot of people here who know different songs. So is this the He's Worthy, He's Worthy? Is that, or is it a different He's Worthy?
No.
There
He's Worthy.
Who went to Calvary, died for my sin. It had that whole groove thing. And see, the thing you got to remember, this was in 96. This wasn't now.
Yeah. So, now, let me say this. And I don't know if he's listening or not. I would say this. Kenny and Adrian, those two were before their time. Like, it was like, who are they and where they come from? From the singing to the dress code, stage presence, the chemistry, like the penmanship has always been dope. So, singing with Adrian, I was like, I was young and skinny then, and I would jump all over the stage, man. But Adrian, I think Well Done was probably the song that took me out. But Earnest Desire and We Your People, He's Worthy. And then the other one we did, He's Worthy.
That was
where we kept going up.
That was an iron sharpens iron situation when me and Kenny got together, because he gleaned a lot from me and I also gleaned a lot from him. And it was kind of like we were able to mesh both of our experiences together. And then we were able to morph. And I'm really godly proud of Kenny. One Voice is my favorite choir, one of my top favorite choirs, and they doing their thing. And Kenny was just a couple months ago at my 50th birthday celebration, and the brotherhood is still there. And I'm just glad that God is a keeper. You know what I'm saying? He sustained us both to walk into our paths, and he's dope like that. Yeah.
And it's great that you all still have that brotherhood, because it doesn't always last like that, you know, from you all starting so young and then where you all now. Which Chicago artist do you absolutely refuse to work with? Don't answer that.
No.
Moving on. So before we let you,
I'm pretty transparent, so I'm glad you.
Don't you do it? I'll get in trouble from Mr. Collins.
There are a few that I'm just not led to work. I'm a different fella. I'm from Chicago, but I'm really not in the clique, bro. Believe it or not, I'm really not in the clique. I'm like that person that
Collins. Right.
They got membership to the gym. I'm the guest.
Mm.
So it's like I got a guest pass to the, because I'm not really in the circle like that. I think I'm respected and I think people love my music, but I'm not really, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Absolutely.
I've never been a clout chaser. I've never been a person that just desired to fit in. You know, I just want to be respected and just do what God has given me to do, and whatever audience or whatever team He partners me with, then you know we'll rock out. You know, I've never been that guy. Some people are, and they'll sell their soul and they tail. I said,
he said it, and we're not moving on. He said it,
and
facts.
And I said it because, again, it's true. I mean, I've seen people compromise who they are as men, who they are as women, who they are as people of God, just to get into an in crowd. And if, my thing is this, Elder, if God can't get me there, then I won't go. If I got to kiss up and be accepting of any and everything to get there, then I'll just never go. I'm good. God is good to me, man. I'm writing a book. The name of my book is entitled If Only I Had Waited. So if my music career don't make me rich, I guarantee you this book will, because I got some stories. But yeah.
And I look forward to bringing you back for that interview along with the women that's detailed in the book. Before we let you go, Adrian B. King, can you let us know where we can find you and where people can reach out and touch you?
Please follow us. Again, this whole new social media and cyber thing is all new, and it's requiring a lot of patience, but you can follow me on IG at Adrian B. King Music. You can follow me on Facebook. As a matter of fact, do it now. Follow me on Facebook, Adrian B. King Music Page. That's what it's called, Adrian B. King Music Page. Not my personal page, because I got 5,000 people, and I will not have an Adrian B. King page too. I don't have the energy. But Adrian B. King Music on Facebook, and please follow us, keep us lifted, keep up with us. We got some great things happening, and we want you to be a part of it. Man, I thank you all for having me on this morning. Thank you for giving me an hour of your time.
Thank you for giving us an hour of your time.
My kids won't give me an hour of their time. You done did something my kids ain't doing. They ain't trying to hit me for an hour.
Well, listen, adopt me because you know, I need one of them 3 cars that you rolling around in. Listen, thank you, Adrian B. King.
Wait a minute. Before you close out,
yes,
I heard Adrian say we're gonna do something together.
Yes.
I'm hold you to it.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold you to it, bro.
God is not a man that he shall lie. Adrian is not a man that he shall lie. I want to do something.
Adrian, if you don't do it, I'm doing a whole post about how broken I am about you.
No, I want to do something with you, bro.
I'm clowning. I'm clowning.
I've seen you sing many times. I think the last time I saw you sing live was in Detroit. Crystal Rucker was there. There was something that Crystal Rucker was at and you sang. I went with
yeah.
You killed the place. So yes, Steve, we're definitely going to do something, man. So I don't know when you're working on your next record. And I say this before I get out of here. I appreciate you checking on me, bro. You will reach out and not want nothing and just check on me. I'm going to tell you, that don't happen too often with me. Everybody reach out to me, want something. I'm finna block my daughter because every time she reach out to me, it's a Why you got to want something every time you hit me up? What is wrong with just hitting a person and saying, hey, man, how you doing? I'm praying for you. What you got going on? I'm thinking about you. Not just thinking about because you're looking for that button to be pushed. I appreciate that, Elder, for real.
No doubt, man. I no doubt. All love, man.
And with that said, I need to borrow $15, but we'll talk about that offline. So, to Adrian B. King, thank you, Bishop, for coming through. To the elder, Stephen Anderson, thank you for being the surprise co-host for today. To all of you guys watching, thank you all for tuning in who's my executive producer? Dr. Nasha Thompson and Elevate Magazine.
Marcus Collins.
And to Marcus Collins and the Big Back Collective. Make sure... I love Marcus Collins. Only him. He's only reason is because
when he see you.
Listen, I'm gonna hug that man so tight he won't be able to. Seeing him at the Stellas. But to everybody that tuned in, to everybody that supports, thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you all on the next podcast. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.